Hey everybody, it's Natalia and Sandra, and we are here on our essential oils and holistic wellness page, or group, I should say. And we're talking about skin health today. So just one quick update before we get into it. You're going to find that we're going to add units to the group, and that is going to hold all the any information that we have, any presentations that we do, you'll be able to see and you'll be able to complete them and go through the information there too. Any questions, let us know. But yeah, we're talking about skin health this month, and your skin is so important. I know everyone this is like the winter, and it's so cold. I have friends in Canada, it's like -30. And I have to say that a lot of us underestimate the importance of moisturizing our skin every day. And our skin health is so important because it's our largest organ. I don't know if you've probably heard that from like grade school or something. It's the total area is like 20 square feet, and has 3 layers, and I'll get into the layers as well. But it's really our protection. It protects us. It really is a window into our internal system, because anything that we put on our skin, it can get absorbed. So this is why we really have to pay attention to our skin and our skin health. Our skin also protects us from microbes, like harmful microbes. As we know, there's good bacteria and bad bacteria. And our skin helps us regulate our temperature, as well as, imagine when you have a burn. Like I burnt myself the other day with a curling iron. Like your skin is there to protect you from those kinds of things, those ailments. Okay, so the skin has 3 layers, and I'll just sort of talk about them quickly. I'm going to refer to some notes if you see me kind of wandering off with my eyes for a second. So you have the epidermis, which is your outer layer. And so that is kind of like, if you think about like a waterproof barrier, and that's creating your skin tone. And then you have the middle layer, which is called your dermis. That is right beneath your epidermis, and it contains all the connective tissue, so your sweat glands and everything like that. And then the deeper tissue is your hypodermis, and that's made of fat and connective tissue as well. So you see you have all these you have these layers there to protect you. But Sandra is now going to talk to us about chemicals and how that plays a role too.
Thank you. Thanks for this. So, hi everyone. So just going to talk to you quickly about chemicals, because we hear a lot about chemical free and synthetic free, and that it's not good for you, and all these kind of things. But sometimes it can get confusing actually, because you get different information from depending where you're looking at, and then it ends up you don't know what to do. So as Natalia was saying, your skin is there to protect you. It's like your outside barrier to protect you from any kind of invasion from the outside world, in a way. So the thing is that chemicals, everything is chemical. Everything is chemical means chemistry, which means atoms and molecules and all those things. So literally everything is chemicals. So when you would hear something or read something, and when it says chemical free, actually it doesn't mean anything, because chemical free would mean there's nothing. It's like empty. So it's not right. What it usually means, it's synthetic free, meaning products that are there in what you're using, which can be harmful for yourself. So the difference, so everything is chemicals, but chemicals can be synthetic and it can be natural. So natural is going to be everything that you find in nature. Everything that nature produces. Whereas synthetic, this is what is being produced in labs. So it means the molecules, so I'm just going to dive a tiny bit more into chemistry, but the molecules are going to look more or less the same. The composition and everything will look a bit the same, but the way the molecule is organized is a tiny bit different than the natural ones. And this is because it's created in labs, and so it doesn't come from nature. And the problem is with this is that you can have different issues with this. Some are not especially dangerous or harmful, but the problem is most of them are not bioavailable compared to natural, which are obviously more easily absorbed by our body because it's the same chemicals that we are made of. Some of the synthetic that you can find in, so I'm talking skincare, but it can also be, it's what you find in the food. In the food, it's what would be labeled as artificial. But so for skincare, it's synthetic that can be harmful because it has it's going to react with your body in a way that it can create imbalance inside your body. Because the thing is that every time you would apply something on your skin, it's going to go inside your body. Because that's the way, when you put a cream, the cream disappears because it goes inside. So the problem is when you have synthetic inside this skincare that you're using, and if it contains harmful synthetic products, this is where it can create issues. And this is also maybe why your skin might become wrinkled more faster, maybe faster than someone who doesn't use this kind of products. And it can create a few negative stuff that you may not be aware of or you don't think of, but it's actually one of the reasons. So the best way for me to approach this, according to me, is to either try to have do-it-yourself products. So meaning, you do your things, you create your own cosmetics yourself, and then you know exactly what's in there. You use essential oils for fragrances, and just basic components, but like natural ones. So that means oils or butters and this kind of things. So that's one option. And the other option is to, if you don't have time or you're not interested in this, is to find products on the market that are synthetic free, and that there's nothing in there that is harmful to you. So that would be my advice. And that's it that's for the chemicals parts. And so now Natalia is going to mention all this do-it-yourself DIY products. And
oh my gosh, yeah. I mean, I absolutely love my DIY. If anyone that follows me, I'm sure would know. Okay, so like apart from or further to what Sandra's saying, ditching and switching your like going through your house and really doing like an audit would be awesome. There's so many, like you can replace your bleach, like if you're using dryer balls or dryer sheets, you definitely need to replace those with dryer balls because the dryer sheets are so toxic. And when you take your when you take your clothes out of the dryer, those chemicals, those synthetic chemicals, I should say, are sticking onto your clothes. They're in your closets when they're there. So it's really important to do that. And, there's with DIY, I really, dove into why it's so important, like to hydrate your skin and, the importance, like if your skin is dry, it's not going to be able to protect you. And when it's cold and things like that, like you want to be able to protect yourself. So that's, I think, how Sandra and I got into the love of DIY, because you know, you use olive oil. I used to use olive oil all the time. I soon found out what coconut oil does. I mean, coconut oil was all the rage because it has all these vitamins and nutrients and it's really moisturizing for your skin. And so, I started to look at recipes like, oh, what if I made my own body butter, my own body balms, my own moisturizers? And then you start really getting carried away with, oh my God, there's avocado oil, of course, there's sweet almond oil. And then you start really getting into all the nutrients that they offer you. And you get to play around with them, see what works better for your skin. I could honestly go on for days, but I'm not going to. um, and yeah, like if you guys have any questions, I'm going to give you guys, or we'll give you guys some links at the end, of course. And I guess we'll just focus on some of the oils because I know like it's no secret, Sandra and I, we use Young Living products, and we got started on them with a starter kit. And I actually started to do a lot of DIY stuff with my starter kit. So I just wanted to touch on some oils, like, so there's lavender, frankincense, and copaiba. That's from your starter kit. And then beyond there, there's geranium and cedarwood. So just to quickly touch on lavender. So lavender is one of those, super versatile, super gentle, yet and super calming, oils, but it's also very moisturizing and it's also very healing. So for example, I think, I don't know if you guys saw it, but I posted that I'm mentioning this twice today, but I, burnt my finger and I had put lavender because it's one of those, it's just known for healing in that way, or promoting healing in that way. And so I add that to all of my facial serums. I add it to, my body balms. I add it to everything pretty much. And Sandra's going to talk about frankincense and copaiba, but I'll just mention geranium as well. Like geranium is really well known for, promoting like blemish free, like taking away your blemishes. And really, it's super absorbing. Like it's just such a lovely fragrance. It's very uplifting when you put it on. Like it's great. Anyway, again, I could talk forever, but I know everyone has little time, so I'm going to pass it over to Sandra, and she's going to finish it off with
Thank you. I love geranium too, actually.
oh,
I'll talk about frankincense to start with. I didn't know this oil until I ordered the starter kit, but I just love it. And the thing is that I actually really hurt myself last summer. I was in Bali and I actually fell over from a scooter. Do you say that? How do you say it? Like I had a kind of an accident with a scooter. Fell off, yeah. And I literally like scratched everything. I have one side all scratched. And it's my friend from Young Living who told me put frankincense. And I put this oil, like just one drop each day on the wound, and it healed and it was amazing. And so I still have a tiny bit scar, but I think compared to what I had at the beginning, it's really it really helps. So I was quite amazed with that. And I also put it in my DIY in my facial serum that I every day. I have a drop of this copaiba also actually, and yeah, and lavender. That's the three. And so yeah, it's a really healing. Also, it's really good for the skin, and it's also very grounding. So when you, depending how you're feeling, it's also pretty good for emotional support. And then coming to copaiba, same. I didn't know this oil before, and I just love it. It has a, I don't know, I don't really know how to describe the smell. It's very like earthy, but in a soft way. And I don't know, it's very calming actually. And I used Copaiba. I had a tooth surgery, and I used it as actually as a painkiller and also to heal. Combined with frankincense also, and another one, but it was also very helpful. I didn't
Well,
take
I've
any
also,
painkiller or nothing for this, and I just used the oils, so that was great.
yeah,
But
that's
yeah, so
awesome.
Copaiba really helped there. And
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I was just thinking because there have been a lot of people that, like, because of the CBD oil, it's getting a lot of traction. And I
yeah,
didn't realize that the copaiba acts in a similar way to the CBD, even though it's made from a tree.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
it's got the endocannabinoids. Like that's how it helps fight the pain in your body.
yeah,
So that I thought that was pretty cool to mention because I just read that recently.
yeah. I didn't know actually about it, but now I understand better why it helped me. Yeah, and cedarwood. Just for the last one, cedarwood is. I actually love cedarwood. It's really good for the hair, also hair growth, and really good for yeah, facial serum and just to massage it on your skin. And it really helps hydration and moisturizing. So also a very good one to have in for your skincare.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Yeah, I love cedarwood. It's yeah. Um,
It's a nice one to have.
yeah, it is. It's one of the first ones I got after, like, that I kept trying after I got my first set.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that's kind of we'll just kind of like wrap it up, I guess. If we thought we'd sort of share with you a brown sugar scrub. I'm gonna try it. Sandra makes
Yeah.
this. It looks super awesome. And I'd say like sugar is where DIY is the best because it's so good for your skin actually when it's used in
Yeah.
this way. Um, and yeah, we put the link as well to, like, if you download the PDF that's in the unit that I'll add right after this, you'll be able to click on the recipe link or whatever and go and see the full recipe along with others.
Yeah.
And I also have a link to like some of my DIY recipes that I use, even for the stuff that I make, and like a Pinterest board, and that's about it. But we're hoping that you guys had a good time. We're wishing you a wonderful February.
Yeah.
And if you guys have any questions, please do feel free to let us know. Even throughout the month, if you have questions that come up around skin health, we're happy to help. So on that note, have a wonderful rest of the day, and we'll see you next month.
Bye, guys. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.